Okay, we got it.
Yeah, there is only everything. There is only everything which may appear as things, may appear as a person, may appear as a blue sky, the clouds, may appear as anything, you know. So there is no separation. What seems to be a separation is only an appearance in this. This, okay, what is this? This is everything. It can never really be pointed to. It can never really be known. It can never really be understood because there is nobody outside of it to know it and understand it. It is already what you are. It is already what is being looked for. It is already that which is here even before any word may be spoken. It is already that which is everything. As I would say, there is no escape because every question that may seem to arise, every thought that may seem to arise, every answer that may seem to be given is already what is this appearing as that. So there is really nothing to be done. But that's not to say this they certain things shouldn't be done. You know, this doesn't suppress. It doesn't say it doesn't have should and shouldn'ts. You know, if practice arises in this, it may seem to happen. You know, but this doesn't mind because every expression is already this. No matter with what shape or form it may appear to be, is already an expression of everything. So there is no separation. There is already no individual who's outside of this. There's just this, which is everything appearing as an individual. So there is no real separate self. What seems to be the separate self is already everything appearing as that. So if anger arises, if frustration arises, if curiosity arises, if anything arises, is already an expression of everything. It's not personal. It's got nothing to do with you or as a separate self. So I would say a separate self is a dream of everything. Is everything dreaming to be a separate self? There is no real separate self who can know anything, who can ask questions and get it. There's nobody here to get what is being spoken here. And that which is speaking is nothing. It doesn't know anything. It doesn't claim to possess any certain knowledge that will somehow change the whole world. It's just nothing. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's speaking happening, listening happening, wondering happening, expectation happening, but there's nobody behind that. It's just everything expressing as that. So it doesn't mind. Everything is beautiful. Everything is okay. Every answer is beautiful. Every question is okay. Every question is beautiful because every question, every answer is already everything. Is already this. Is already this. So all is okay. All is okay. Well, I just gonna uh, give an opportunity. If anybody wants to share anything, wants to ask question, feel free to do so. To unmute and do so.
Okay, Nkosi, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, since we have such a small group here tonight, I have been thinking about this question and don't quite know. There have been maybe two or three times that I have felt physical pain or some kind of physical mental ailment, and you said that you would be sending energy my way. Um, I don't know that if it's inappropriate to discuss this now, but I have my mind so firmly set on this can't be corrected without a doctor. This can't be corrected without medication. And I've noticed that I have not really been open to your energy, just negating it and saying this can't be possible. Um, and um, everything is energy, so it has to be possible. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it is possible because, as you say, everything is energy. So there's no distance to cover.
Yes.
There's no dividing line. You know, the energy that is here is the same energy that may seem to be there. Is the same. So it is possible. It is possible. And it does happen. It does happen. Just the focus of the energy there where you're feeling pain, the pain suddenly goes away. So it is possible.
But doesn't the
It is possible.
participant like me have to really believe that it's possible?
Well, there's only energy. So there's nobody here even to believe, you know.
Okay,
It may happen. It may happen. We may talk about it, maybe or one-on-one session, and then we will have to discuss that.
sure,
Uh, go into details how does it happen?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would not normally bring it up in a big group setting, but I felt a little comfortable doing it because all four of us are pretty close.
yeah. It is possible. I've done it a number of times to different people from different uh part of the, the locations. It doesn't need you to be even present as the body to lay hands. You can just simply focus the energy there where there's pain and then take the pain away.
I've certainly heard of that. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So everything is this. So anything may happen here. This doesn't have any limitations. There are no limitations at all.
So, Nkosi, are you saying that sometimes you don't need to go to the doctor or the dentist or to somebody else?
If that arises, that they should be going to the doctor, and then you can go to the doctor and see the doctor. If it arises that you need some healing energy healing, then that will seem to happen as well. It's all about what comes up. If it doesn't come up, then because everything is an expression of this. So this really doesn't mind. If you want to go to the doctor, it's because you have to go to the doctor, and that's okay too. If you need some energy healing from so-called Nkosi, you can get it as well. So this really doesn't mind. It doesn't mind.
Because sometimes what's troubling me is not really the physical. It's probably an emotional fear, some emotional fear that it's possibly emotional that's caused the physical. And then the doctors really don't, they're really only good with the physical stuff most of the time. So is that what you're referring to when you say maybe energy healing would be more useful?
Yeah, energy healing can be useful in many ways. When you talk about emotions, all emotions are just appearances. Is also one of the appearances that may seem to appear in this and disappear. So they don't last, they come and go. It is here now, then the next second or minute is gone. So it's just a matter of not identifying with that and see that as just an appearance.
Sometimes they hang around. Sorry.
It's
Sometimes
okay.
I think they hang around. They might come and go, but they hang around for far too long.
Yeah, just don't identify with it. See it as just an appearance, and then it will disappear. Be nothing, and nothing will harm. If you take yourself to be something, then something will try to hang on. Yeah, just be nothing. Be what you are already. That which is looking right now from behind those eyes. The looking is not a man or a woman. The looking itself, it doesn't have any emotions, doesn't feel pain. It's not searching for anything. It doesn't mind what's happening. And that looking is not only local, it is everywhere present. If it seems to be local, then that's just an imagination, which is also appearing in this totality as totality. That looking is everywhere present, and there is nobody in it. There may seem to be an imagination that I'm looking, but that comes after. It seems to be late in a way. Like, oh, I'm looking. No, looking is already there. But the one who says I'm looking is just an appearance in it. So that looking is not a man or a woman, is not doesn't have any emotions, doesn't feel pain, doesn't mind. Even when the eyes are closed, they're still that looking. Black can be seen, but it doesn't mean that the looking stops. It's always there. It is already what you are. It's not noticed because of the appearances, what may appear, so-called objects, but it's always with you as your own self. It has never left. It doesn't go away. I would say it is your resting place because it's always with you. It's always there, shining. It's self-luminous. It's self-sufficient. It shines like a sun. When the sun is shining in the midst of a huge storm, thunderstorm, rain, hurricane, the sun above is always shining. But it may seem as if there's huge wind, people running around, but the sun above the clouds is always shining. So what you are is always shining. It doesn't suffer. It doesn't get hurt. It's not troubled. What seems to be troubled, what seems to suffer, is only an idea or an imagination appearing in this. It can never really be what you are. It's part of what you are, but not what you really are. Because what you really are can never be known, can never be understood. At times it may appear as things. They appear and disappear in that space where the space that doesn't appear or disappear is always there, constant, doesn't change. That looking I'm talking about. That seeing. It sees without interest. It doesn't desire what is seen. It's just there. It doesn't mind. That's why we say it's just what is. What is. So it can never really be pointed to, because even what seems to be pointing to it is already it. There's nobody outside of it to find it or to know it, because it's everything. So the separate self is already not there. It can never be found, because even the finder is already not there. So there's nothing here. There's nothing to find. There's nobody to find anything. There's just this. And this, as it is already wordless. It doesn't require any word to be spoken for it to be what it is. This doesn't require any journey. There's no reaching this. There's no finding this, because there's only this. What seems to be the journey can only be an appearance, can only be seen as just an appearance in it, can only be seen as just a dream. So if a journey appears, then is a journey to where? Really? Because there's only this. There's only everything. There's just this. So where are you going to? A thought that may seem to appear to say, oh, I'm getting closer. Closer to where? Really? Exactly. That is just a thought. It's just an appearance. There's nowhere to get to already. There's no one to get it because there's only it.
I have a question, if I may
Yes.
interrupt a little bit. And it was something that you shared with me this morning when I talked with you briefly, and now when Faith was talking, it kind of came up again, and I was sharing with you a little bit of a dilemma that I was having, and anyway, what you kind of respond is not to well, when I'm taught, just always go back to who I really am, um, and that does seem to be the response, appropriate response. But when I'm caught, I don't even know how to go back to who I really am, because it just seems to cycle. So when I'm in that frame of mind and cycling the story, what is really needed to go back to who I am? I have a little confusion in that, maybe because I'm so invested in my story. Is the question
Yeah,
clear?
yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying. You can never really go back to where you are because you're already what you are. Not the imaginary as an imaginary separate self, because that is just an imagination. To say you are Alice Morris, you were born one day, you grew up in a certain location, that's just a story.
Yes.
That's just a dream. There is no real Alice Morris. No. Because when that is looked for, it can never be found. It can never be found. It's just also one of the appearances that may appear in this and say, oh, I'm Alice Morris, I'm living a life, I'm doing this and that. That's just an appearance. That's just a thought. It's all imagined, really. What you are is not a person. It's not a human being. It's everything. You are even that which is talking right now. You are even that which is listening right now. You are even that which is not doing anything. You are everything. You are not a man or a woman. What you are is already deathless. It is more solid than what seems to be solid. It is always here, unmoving, indestructible, fearless. When it plays, it may appear as different people. It may appear as a woman who's living a life. It may appear as a man who's living a life. but that's when it plays. That's when it experiences itself, because it's the only thing there is. There's nothing else. It's just this. So it may seem to dream as a woman who's living life, was born, but in actual fact, there's nobody who's living life. There's just life expressing as a woman. So, like for example, the body has never said that it's a woman. Has never said anything. The body is innocent, but there may seem to be a thought that says that identifies with the body and seems to say, "I am a woman." The body has never said anything, because when the body is in deep sleep, it's just the body. So even right now, it's just the body. But a thought construct may seem to arise in this and say, "Oh, wow, I'm living life. Oh, I'm tired of this life. I need to get rid of all the things that I don't want in my life." But it's just a thought, really. It's nothing. It's nothing more or less than a thought, an appearance. It doesn't need to be taken seriously.
That's very helpful, Nkosi. I don't mean to cut you off, but I realized as you were talking, yes, all the me is a thought construct, period. And that's helpful to be reminded of that, because that's always what it's going to do. It's just thoughts, just a bunch of thoughts, and that thought construct. Yeah, I really can see that.
Even a thinker of thoughts is just another thought.
Okay.
It may seem to have weight and say, "Oh, I was thinking, we need to take that decision. We need to take this direction." But that's another thought. Who really needs to take a decision? Who is there to take a decision? Who is there to be offended, even? Who is there to worry? It can only be another thought that seems to be bothered by other thoughts. Yet, it's just totality appearing as that. So thoughts are just appearances. They appear and disappear. That space where they appear and disappear from is not appearing or disappearing, it's just there. Thoughts come and go. Emotions come and go. But that space where emotions arise, appear and disappear, thoughts appear and disappear, it's just there, constant, it doesn't change. We tend to focus on the thoughts, on the appearances, and forget the space where they appear from. So that is always there, doesn't change, doesn't move. And that space is not a man or a woman, doesn't have any culture. It was never born, and it never dies. Death and birth appear and disappear in it. So it's not just a blank space, it's aliveness. And things, or what seems to be things, they seem to have life because of this spacious aliveness. So individuals are not seen, this spacious aliveness is seen appearing as those individuals going to different directions, as birds flying. It's exactly that spacious aliveness doing everything, appearing as those things. So the movement, that's why I usually say the movement itself is already no movement. They may appear to be going somewhere, but they are never really going anywhere because it's just this spacious aliveness appearing as that. So there's no actual movement. There's just it's just this totality, spacious aliveness dancing as those people who are moving around, as birds flying, as cars hooting, clouds appearing. It's dancing. It's the only thing that is. It's not separate. It's already you, me, them, everything. There's no real separation. So even right now, it's actually talking to itself. It doesn't know the other. It knows itself. Has nothing. So it doesn't matter whether there are questions or no questions, whether there are thoughts or no thoughts. Everything is an expression of this. So this doesn't mind itself. Whether there's this direction taken or that direction, actually left and right is the same here because it's just an expression of this. Down and up is the same. Black or white is the same. So really, everything is beautiful. Even a speck of dust, it may be seen as just beautiful because it is an expression of this. This sees beauty in everything because it sees only itself. It doesn't see the other. So you are already there. You're already there.
I'm really glad you shared that, Nkosi, because I was noticing that when there was that lull of silence, I was thinking, gee, there should be more people on here. We should have more questions being asked. And I sometimes go through that with people I'm with. There's too much silence here, and it should look this way. But it would be okay, is what you're saying, if we spent the next 20 minutes in total silence. It would be totally okay. It would be the same as asking questions, and to be really comfortable with just silence, because now that's what's here.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's silence even when there's talking happening. It's
Oh,
not silence when there is no noise. Even when there's a huge noise going on, it's already there. Stillness in the midst of noise, huge noise. It's an undisturbed silence. It's an undisturbed silence. Whether there is a question coming up, an answer being given, that silence can never be shaken. It's already there. It's already what you are. That which is looking is already that which is being looked for. So everything is okay. No matter what shape or form it may appear to be, it's just an expression of this. You are what you are looking for already. Thinking that you are not, that can only be just removed. Just a matter of noticing that the thoughts have been saying, oh, we are not yet there. Those are just thoughts. Never believe those thoughts. They may say, we are getting closer now. You are feeling peace. You're getting closer. Who are they talking to? If Nkosi can keep on talking, no, you will definitely get it this time. Oh. You will never get it because there's only it. You are it already. Don't mind those thoughts. Don't follow those thoughts. It's like catching a train that keeps on going, but it never reaches the destination. Goes or it keeps on going. It's going. I'm gonna get there. But where is it going? It's on going. It never stops. So every doing that may seem to happen uh, is not an individual who's doing. It's just doing, happening. or it's just this totality appearing as that. If you can stand up right now and go to the kitchen and come back, that's it's not an individual who's doing that. It's just totality appearing as that. So an individual has never done anything because an individual is imaginary. That which is imagined can never be found because it's just an imagination. If you imagine that there's a huge lion behind you, will you run away? If you imagine that there's a huge lion that is about to eat you or to eat the body, will you run away? It's an imagination. So just a matter of recognizing or seeing that it's just an imagination, then stop imagining. Like the lion, it would be seen that there was no lion there. So even right now, there is no, there's no individual because it's just an imagination.
This is changing the subject. I was wondering, Michael, is it possible to put the American times on the invitation for Nkosi? Like 2 a.m. is translated into that would be 5 p.m. Pacific time. Or at least give one time zone in the United States, which I think normally they use Pacific time, Pacific Standard Time. And then it's easy to tell that for me, that's going to be Central Time. And maybe that would be helpful for people, especially in the United States, because sometimes I would get confused if I saw Johannesburg, 2 a.m. I would get confused and not know quite how to figure that out. But Nkosi told me how to do that. So here I am. Is that something that could be done? I don't know. Nkosi and I were talking about it. What do you think, Nkosi? I mean, could we do that, Michael?
Yeah,
And Nkosi kind of agreed that that might be a nice feature. So I'm just kind of putting my 2 cents in.
Yeah, Nkosi's setting it up. So when I set it up, I do Pacific Standard Time because that's my time. But from Nkosi's time, it's going to be Johannesburg 2 a.m. But we know that that's just 9 hours, ahead of us. So that would be 5 a.m. here and 5 p.m. here and 7 p.m. there, Alice.
Right. Right. But do other people know that?
Well, we'll keep, there probably is a little bit of a, they don't really know about this yet. So
Yeah.
I think as word gets out.
Okay. That's right. We're just beginning. And this is wonderful to have 4 of us here at the Virgin meeting.
yeah, it's
Virgin
wonderful.
Mary.
Yeah.
Well, Alice, I use an app on my phone called Time Buddy, and it's great. I just punch in 2 a.m. Johannesburg time, and bingo, there I know where everybody is.
Perfect.
I know what. Yeah, it's very, very, very easy.
Yeah.
And except Nkosi, I had you as Durban time, but I noticed Durban time and Johannesburg time are the same.
Yeah, the same. The same.
Yeah.
Except Cape Town.
Oh,
Yeah, Cape Town's there's a
a different
difference.
time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found this Time Buddy app is super good. Can tell me anywhere in the world.
Okay, you sent it to me and I haven't really looked at it, so I'll take a better look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's lovely to be with you, Nkosi. It's like it has the effect. Being with you has, like, I start off and I've got lots of thoughts and words going round in my head, but the longer I stay with you, it's like the words settle down or dissipate, and then you end up and you don't really have much of a question left. You might come to the meeting with a question and a comment, whatever, but when after listening to you, they sort of, they evaporate, which is wonderful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, the energy, boundless energy is everywhere. Words as well. Some words may carry that whenever they're spoken. Somehow there's a transmission. I don't know how to put it. Yeah. Yeah. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not separate from itself. So yeah.
I could say something. I
Yeah.
notice that I notice in Nkosi that on our Wednesday night meeting, everyone starts off from assuming they're a human.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I would say it's an expression of this, of everything. You know, if somebody is just totality appearing or imagining that it's real, it's here, you know, there's so much belief. At times there may be so much belief invested in that appearance. When you mention that the separate self is already not there, it may seem to cause anger because there is a protection. This or appearing as an individual, it may never really want to disappear or recognize that it doesn't exist. It doesn't want that it believe itself that it exists, it's alive, it's real, it needs to be respected if it's there. But that too is also everything expressing as that. It's not to say there's a real separate somebody. So it's just a matter of like allowing things to be as they are. Just in this spaciousness, you know, anything is allowed to be as it is. It appears because everything is seen there as just an appearance. It appears and disappears. It doesn't last. You know. Don't have to say something about what's appearing. If you want to say something about what's appearing, that's okay too. But things appear and disappear. They don't last.
Yeah, I thought your pointer was so beautiful when you said that even knowing that you're a human being is something you've learned.
Yes, yes. Everything was learned, you know. That you are a man or a woman, um, that there are mountains, there are rivers, there are clouds, there is walking, everything. Everything is just a bundle of information that may seem to be floating by. You know. Even may even say, how dare you talk to me like that? It's just there's nobody there. It's just a bundle of information. I'm a man. I'm a man. You have to take me seriously. You know, that's it's nothing. It's nothing. There's nothing there, really. There's just emptiness. There's just totality. There's just everything. So all those things, all those appearances, is just an information. Because when there's looking happening, the wall doesn't say I'm a wall. Something seems to arise because of the knowledge in the memory. I say, oh, I'm looking at the wall. I as what? As Nkosi, that's a knowledge. Nkosi, Kwela, looking at the wall. That's the knowledge. It's just a bundle of information. It's not important. It's just to decorate the story. So
So that's why when you say stay here, you mean don't go to knowledge.
yes. Even when I say look, simply look. Don't go into the knowledge. Don't go into thoughts. I'm never really talking to somebody. I'm talking to the only thing there is, which is nothing, that is everywhere present. This can only talk to itself. This message, when there is a suggestion appearing, it's not given to somebody. It's not given to an information, a bundle of information. It's given to that which is always here. Because that, at times, it may even identify with that information, that knowledge, and seem as if it's real. Oh, I'm Nkosi, I'm here. No, it's still the unseen appearing as that, identifying with the bundle of information, the knowledge in the memory. So if I were to say right now, who are you? Without referring to the past, without going to the knowledge, who are you now? What are you now? Without reference to the past, without going to the knowledge that you receive. What are you now?
Nkosi, I'm back at Michael's question on Wednesday night when we come on the webinar. We come on as a me. I come on as a me, and then I notice when other me's get demanding or upset or don't understand, I find myself getting irritated with those me's, and I don't like that. It's upsetting to me, and I don't want to be upset. And yet I know it's got to be something coming from me, not them certainly generating from me. But I don't seem to be in a space that's seemingly clear enough to really see that it's just a show that feels upsetting to me, and I don't like that.
What's wrong with being upset?
Oh. Oh, that's good. I'm glad I asked you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. All right, yeah. Everything is okay. Allow being upset to take its place. Allow it to unfold. Allow it to appear and disappear. Don't have to say anything about it. Allow it to come with all the strength and power. Be upset and feel it. Allow it to take place and until it goes away. Don't judge. Just let it be. Don't say it shouldn't happen. Because when you say it shouldn't happen, then it's not personal. Yeah, it's what appears in this. What appears in this. It's not appearing to somebody or for somebody. Because there's nobody here. There's just totality. It's just everything.
But that upset, could that not be something that pushes us in a different direction? Yeah, that pushes us in a different direction, which is to our benefit. Does that make sense? If I get it on.
If I may ask, you say it pushes you to a different direction.
Yeah, for example, I used to be part of the church, the Christian evangelical church scene.
Yeah.
And because I felt upset with the teachings, uncomfortable with the teachings, not in the beginning, but after a while, it pushed me in it made me go looking in a different direction. And eventually led me to this, which is, my experience is a much happier place than I was in. So what I'm saying is that upset can have a place in one's world, in one's non-world.
Yeah, it's a matter of allowing all the appearances to be as they are without judgment. If there is an inclination that's okay, I need to move, there'll be movement. There'll be a movement. You will leave that certain group and go and join another group. No, it may, if it comes up that way, then that should be done as you moved. Yeah. Yeah, it's just
So
a matter of what comes up.
Yeah, so that discomfort can be useful, sort of, in the story anyway.
Yeah, everything is beautiful because everything is an expression of this. Yeah, so everything is okay.
Yeah.
Faith, I was just going to say that in the dream, it can feel like it's making progress or it's losing ground.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, are there any questions? I think it's 3:06 now.
So the 40 minutes worked on Zoom, huh?
Sorry?
So the 40 minutes with the upgraded Zoom worked okay.
Yeah, it worked perfectly.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. So you now have the pro one without the time limit in Nkosi?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
I do.
Nice. Thank you, Alice.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Can't think of a better way to give a gift, to give it to myself and everyone else that may join.
So,
I appreciate
Nkosi,
it.
did you want to do this again? You're planning on doing this again next week at the same time?
I don't know. I think I might change.
Yeah.
I think I might change due to the load shedding because on this today is Monday. The load shedding begins at 12 a.m. until 2 p.m. So I don't know, but I will decide. Maybe it will stay the same or it will
Okay.
change. Yeah,
Well,
I'll keep you posted. Yeah.
whatever you decide, whatever works best for you, let me know, and I'll post it like I did this time in the non-duality community. But also, I could send out an email to our group.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. That would
With the
be
website,
appreciated. That would be
you send it with
appreciated.
the link and everything, Michael?
Yeah, as soon as Nkosi confirms that he
Right.
wants to do it again and we have the time, I will do, you know how I send out little emails to the group
Right,
with the link.
with the link. That would be really nice. And then you still have it on your non-dual website.
Yeah, so both Nkosi and will be the same. Both links will be shared in the community, and both links will be mailed out individually to the members.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know if Nkosi has it up and running on his website right now. Do you, Nkosi? I don't think you do.
Yeah, I think the website that I have is we share the website with Michael. It's um only this,
Yeah,
just this.
it's called All Is This, Alice, but yeah, we haven't put the link up to the public yet.
Right.
So now something to think about, Nkosi, just FYI, we can't really put the link out on Facebook directly because it seems that's how the Zoom bombers get a hold of it if it goes public. I've actually got a message from Zoom warning me, saying, you don't do this because the Zoom bombers will send it to all their friends. So that's why I put it in our group. So it's a little protected. It's just in the non-duality group. It's not really available to the whole internet. And also sending it through Meetup. It's going just to the people who have signed up.
Right.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I love it.
I think it would be important. I know you're looking at this and that, but I think it would be kind of important to have a consistent time with it. If we could do that, I know with with Ken Madden, I don't even look at his stuff anymore. He cancels, do this, It's like I have totally lost interest. He's canceling a lot. So I don't have any faith in him anymore. I mean, I might watch a YouTube on TV, but I'm not going to change my day because he's going to be fun. So I think consistency is important. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
8 o'clock Wednesday night, Michael's here. Yes.
Yeah, I think I think next week we're gonna do it on the same time as well.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you everyone for coming.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nkosi.
Yeah, all is appreciated.
Great.
See you next week.
Okay.
See you guys Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.